Welcome to the PDX files. Each week we dive into the weird and the unexplained here in the Pacific Northwest and beyond. My name is Peej.
And I'm Mac.
And Mac, what are we talking about today?
Well, we're gonna kind of go into kind of a, I don't know how to describe it really. It's like one of the most iconic mysteries in the world that hasn't really been fully solved yet, and that's the Bermuda Triangle. Lots of crazy stuff going on in that area. I've been reading that or reading about that since I was a kid, um,
Same.
and I haven't really just found anything to sort of explain all of it. There's been some debunking. We can look at that too, but um, it's just a weird area of the world. And I think there's other similar triangles like that, but at least in our hemisphere, and at least in the zeitgeist again, kind of one of those is pretty well known as like a very unexplained mystery.
We're going to dive right into the Bermuda Triangle in this penultimate episode.
Indeed.
And I've not seen this video, and Mac has curated it again. So here we go.
It's been a virtual black hole for hundreds of ships and planes. In an exclusive update to our original investigation, we examine whether bizarre natural forces could be the cause of the area's many unsolved disappearances.
Down at the bottom, we found the wreck of an old fishing boat.
Previously, we investigated two of the triangle's most baffling losses: 5 naval planes and a ship with more than 300 sailors on board. Some blame an extraordinary phenomenon that breaks the fabric of space and time.
I knew something spectacular had happened to me, something phenomenal.
Now, the mystery deepens as scientists speak up about new theories for the Atlantic Ocean's most notorious graveyard.
Is the Bermuda Triangle a supernatural vortex causing ships and planes to vanish? Or are these disappearances mere coincidence? My name's Jennifer Marshall. After serving in the U.S. Navy, I began a career as a private investigator. Now, I'm in pursuit of the unexplained, decoding the mysteries of the Bermuda Triangle.
It's a pretty good intro, I think, to the whole area, to be honest.
My time in the U.S. Navy led me to want to investigate two of the most perplexing mysteries of the Bermuda Triangle. The first is the 1918 disappearance of the USS Cyclops. The ship disappeared with over 300 sailors on board.
I've never
Still
seen a
the
ship
largest
like
loss of life for the U.S. Navy in peacetime. The second is Flight 19. 5 Navy Avengers disappeared. No wreckage, no remains were ever found. Hours after those planes disappeared, a search and rescue plane was sent, and that plane disappeared as well. I'm on my way to meet with fellow Navy sailor Jordan Hunter. He called me in to investigate new scientific evidence that may prove how objects can travel through space and time in the Bermuda Triangle. Jordan,
How you doing?
how are you?
Pleasure to meet you finally, Jennifer.
Yeah, pleasure to meet
A
you.
little
in
bit
person.
sus on that already,
Miami,
but
not only
I'm
is this
interested.
one of the channels where a lot of ships leave Miami, but that over there is the beginning of the Bermuda Triangle. My passion for the Bermuda Triangle started when I was training in the United States Navy, doing search and rescue. And now as a civilian, I dedicate my time not only to bring people home, but also helping solve some of the mysteries of what happened in the Bermuda Triangle.
I was interested in coming down because you said that you have people that we can interview.
Yes, and I'm super excited for you to meet them. The Bermuda Triangle is full of mysteries. I'm very excited to get to the bottom of it. You know, it's a lot of theories out there.
Jordan is a great guy. He was a rescue swimmer, which is one of the hardest schools in the Navy. He went to SEER school where you learn how to survive and resist if you're captured. So to be partnered with him,
That doesn't necessarily mean they know anything about
this is a
the
really
subject,
intriguing
but-
case. There's supposedly around 300 ships and 75 aircraft that have gone missing in this area. I just want to know why these things have happened in the Bermuda Triangle. Is it realistic or is it just clever manipulation of statistics? I guess we'll see.
Maybe it's just aliens.
Ha ha ha. Honestly, I like what they're going with the whole subject here. I think they've got a good crew there. However, there is, and as you know, that a long history of things happening even before some of the stuff that they were talking about. I think they're kind of glossing over that just a little bit, but it's an area where just weird, and again, that could just be because of the depth of the ocean, the weather patterns, whatever it is like just weird stuff happens. But it seems like there's been so many things that have happened, and even with like the advent of technology in each century that you go with, it's like, is it really just a coincidence? Probably, but maybe not. I think that's the reason why the legend continues.
And they're kind of giving me a little bit of she's kind of giving me a little Dana Scully energy right now.
Exactly.
For
Yeah.
those
Yeah.
watching the video, you'll get what I mean.
Indeed.
All right, here's the next part.
On our way to go meet Bruce Gernon, a pilot that believes he time traveled from the Bahamas to Florida in an experience at the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah, I've got some information over here I'd like to show you.
Awesome.
I have watched a few videos with Bruce Gernon, and he claims that he went through some kind of vortex after a cloud formation encircled his plane.
We departed Andros Island in the Bahamas on December 4th of 1970. It was clear blue sky, except this strange cloud here was hovering about a mile offshore. So I flew right over it. It looked harmless.
You had talked about how it formed into what you thought was a vortex.
Right. So it connected on the bottom first. And then you can see there was an anvil head here and an anvil head here.
And that's when the circle started to form.
A perfectly horizontal tunnel.
Can you talk us through exactly this moment then?
I could actually see the fabric of space and time changing. And these strange lines instantly formed, and they were rotating counterclockwise. And the wingtips scraped the edges of it. Now the diameter's only like 30 feet. You see this gray
The
fog
yellow
area?
grayish fog area.
That's what I call electronic fog.
How would you
What?
explain the concept of electronic fog to someone who's not a pilot and doesn't have a science background?
It's similar to other fogs. What happens is,
Okay.
if it's strong enough, your electronic and magnetic instruments quit working. Light comes to slowly rotating all by itself. You start getting disoriented and dizzy. After only 3 minutes, it electronically dissipated. When this tunnel collapsed, it took only about 10 seconds for these lines all around the airplane to spread out until they were completely gone and I was in the clear blue sky. I knew something spectacular had happened to me, something phenomenal. And when I landed, I looked at my watch and the flight was only 47 minutes. And I said, well, that doesn't make sense because I'd made that flight over a dozen times before and it always took at least an hour and 20 minutes. When I entered that tunnel, it only took just over 3 minutes to travel the 100 miles.
Wow. Bruce claims that when he was inside the tunnel, his plane flew 10 times faster than should have been possible. I'm trying to change Jennifer from a skeptic into a believer today, and Bruce brought all the things that I need to help back up my theories.
As soon as we got back to Palm Beach International, we'd always fill up the plane. And it only took 29 gallons to fill it up. And normally it would take 39 gallons. So this is the actual original gas receipt. So we saved exactly 10 gallons of fuel, which proves that flight was much shorter.
That guy seems really weird. And the way that he's talking about things, I can't tell if it's because he's autistic or something else. I mean, it's so kind of like innocuous, I guess you can say. Like, he missed like less than an hour of time that I can almost believe it to a certain extent. Like maybe he just, reached some sort of like a mini wormhole or something like that, or whatever was going on there. It didn't seem to be like he was bragging about it.
No.
But I don't think he really understood. Yeah, I could see that could be human error and just not quite understanding what was going on and ran into like a thunderstorm. And, what I'm saying? It's like something like that seems much more likely that he like traveled through time like 47 minutes or whatever the hell it was.
Yeah, it could have been just some really awesome tailwind that he caught.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, absolutely. And it's not even really considering that in this case. So I would say that's a pretty weak example of the Bermuda Triangle, if there ever was one. That there's a lot more compelling stories that I think we're going to see here. But
And
as far as that
obviously,
goes,
yeah, obviously the photos or whatever, the images that he was kind of talking through on the video, were artist depictions, right? They weren't
Right.
the actual but it was kind of a little bit leading, right? Because the first image was kind of a cloud that kind of looked like like a saucer
The
shape.
flying saucer, yeah,
Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah. We've seen, and I've seen clouds like that before, but you can tell that's not a flying saucer. But you know, the data doesn't seem that convincing to me
Yeah,
as far as some of the other stories. So I'm going to say this one is probably just like weird coincidence kind of stuff.
possibly. All right. Here's the next clip.
Well, by definition, a rogue wave is a open ocean surface wave that is 2 to 3 times or bigger than the surrounding waves. So if you've got a 10-foot swell
What's up,
and
surfer
a
boy?
40-foot wave rolls through, that's a rogue wave. They're very unpredictable, very random, and they don't have rules.
Historically, in the Bermuda Triangle, one of the theories has been that a lot of these ships have gone missing because of rogue waves.
The Bermuda Triangle is interesting because there's other areas in the world that traffic is the same, conditions appear to be the same, but they don't have the same issue. Something is there that isn't in other places.
So what is this video of?
So this video is an experience that I've been through with very abnormal waves. I'm surfing, and before I know it, I'm in a position where I see this massive wave. It went from 4 to 6 foot to closer to like 8 to 10 foot. And then the whole wave shuts down, as we call, and then I go down. And this is a long beating. You see how the screen's black? The camera got oxygen deprived. That's how deep I got pushed down. So at this point, I don't think I can make it back out. And right there, I'm swallowing water, getting sucked under. I still have nightmares about this.
Oh God! Please don't get it.
And at this point, people are coming up the beach because they saw what happened. So right here, I just drop my board and I collapse.
According to the science behind it, a rogue wave only means that it's larger than every other wave around it. I do believe that cargo ships, cruise liners, and even aircraft carriers could be taken out with the right size rogue wave.
In my opinion, in the air, on the surface, underwater, I think a lot of it has to do with very bizarre weather. That environment, that triangle, those 3 points falls within Hurricane Alley, whether it's planes running into these microbursts or if it's a ship hitting a very strange freak wave. Mother Nature is ruthless.
So it seems like they're kind of debunking a lot of the things that people are talking about. I mean, at least in this particular clip, I would agree. It's like, it just seems like that area has got a lot of potential for some unfortunate things happening, not necessarily alien or paranormal, but interesting. I'm going to go with the surfer guy. It's like, yeah, shit happens. Basically, that's kind of what he's saying.
Right. And I don't know about the camera was deprived of oxygen type of thing. Well, it was underwater. I mean, I get that
It's a bunch of BS.
but hey, it takes all kinds. All right.
I mean, it's a very nice explanation for why the camera went off. But yeah.
Yeah. All right. Here's the next clip.
The compression of the fabric is spaced at low energy levels. What we're doing is we're actually
Now we're
making the
talking.
fabric is spaced. Our goal is to go faster than light.
Two survivors of bizarre incidents in the Bermuda Triangle suggest their experiences explain two of the area's greatest mysteries. Dalton Smith believes the USS Cyclops could have been taken out by a massive rogue wave, while pilot Bruce Gernon believes Flight 19 may have been caught up in an electronic fog similar to the one that encircled his plane. Could science support either claim? Scientist David Paris believes Bruce Gernon actually experienced a space warp, and he claims he has an experiment that backs it up.
His internal clock in the aircraft matched the tower control clock. A typical flight of 75 minutes, he did it in 47. He did not do time travel. He did linear displacement.
When we're looking at normal space, where you have a point here and a point here,
Yeah,
separated by space, and then when we're compressing it, we're moving the two closer together. So the space is still there, but it's just that the 2 points are actually closer together. So there's no velocity movement there. We're just moving with position.
So explain to us how your test in the lab demonstrates this.
In this test, we are energizing a motor to replicate the force of a massive thunderstorm, but scaled down in size. We have a laser attached to the motor.
The power compresses the fabric of space.
Bending the fabric of space pulls the motor in a downward direction.
We can see the amount of compression by marking the start and end points of the laser beam on a piece of graph paper.
So here we go. Ready?
Okay.
Okay.
The graph paper in the corner should reveal whether the laser moves. David and Kyle are only sending a small amount of power to the motor. So if the laser moves, they believe it demonstrates that the combined power of two immense thunderstorms could have moved Bruce's plane the distance he said it did.
5 seconds. Okay.
Here's what we're looking at after running the test. We look at the displacement from the top line to the bottom line. From the starting point to the end point. Which is about 4 millimeters. And even though that sounds like a tiny amount, when you calculate what the distance would be with the amount of energy produced by a massive thunderstorm, it confirms how Bruce's plane could have moved 100 miles in 3 minutes.
Huh.
I mean,
Science.
that seems kind of legit almost. I mean, probably not, but I mean, it seems like a very good explanation. And they're trying to explain what happened because it wasn't like a huge, like we were just saying, or like I was just saying, it's like not a huge amount of time that was displaced. But if you have that amount of energy on Tuesday, I mean, it makes sense in a certain way. That's really interesting.
That is interesting, and I like that. Again, it's science that's able to explain it very succinctly, and I actually, like, again, it's backed by an actual experiment that proves the theory, right? Versus, I don't know, like I just had a phenomenal
Aliens,
experience, and
yeah, I mean, an immense amount of energy making time shift in that way. It seems like, though, to me, at least just on his face, like it would have to be like a much stronger amount of energy to be able to force like I could see like a few seconds of time being displaced. I don't know about 47 minutes or whatever it was. Seems to be unlikely, but again, I don't know. Maybe there's something in that area that just sort of helps that go a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, it could also be relative to the mass, right? I mean, that's an airplane versus a piece of paper.
Right.
That was being moved.
Yeah.
True. All right, here's the next one. I mean, the next clip, rather.
Theoretical physicist. Dr. Kaku, thank you so much for your time this morning.
My pleasure.
Bruce Gernon was a pilot who claimed to have flown through a vortex in the Bermuda Triangle, and what was supposed to be an 80-minute flight was condensed to 47 minutes.
It seems to me that if a person is going through a vortex, his sense of space and time could be psychologically altered, so that if you put him in a lie detector, the lie detector would say that, yes, he seems to be telling the truth because he thinks that he went through space and time.
So Bruce Gernon, the pilot, was able to provide us with a receipt that he had used far less gas than what he would usually use on that route to bolster his claims of traveling through this vortex.
Well, I don't doubt that he thinks he went through a vortex. However, a receipt is not proof. I mean, we need something sensational to verify a sensational claim. An airplane going through a vortex simply does not attain the massive amounts of energy necessary to speed up or slow down time, even by a fraction of a second.
There are people
That's
who
kind of what
claim
I was
that
saying
massive
earlier.
thunderstorms in the Bermuda Triangle can create this type of energy that might be able to warp space and time.
Even the entire energy output of the Earth, with all its thunderstorms, with all its energy, is still not enough to warp the fabric of space and time. It's simply a possibility that you can harness if and only if you can control the output of a star.
Well, that doesn't necessarily mean that that area of the Earth isn't something that hasn't been experimented with before, doesn't have that kind of energy around there. But yeah, that's kind of, I was thinking like some thunderstorms are going to cause that type of thing. That's kind of what I was thinking. So, is it possible the guy just like he didn't fill up the plane as much as he should have, or said he filled up as much as he does. I don't know. Who knows? But I mean, definitely, it's interesting to sort of consider what the Hikau, I think, said.
Dr. Michio Kaku.
Kaku, yeah. Just sort of talking about that. What he says makes a lot of sense, but that doesn't necessarily mean that there's not something else going on there at the same time. He didn't really dismiss that.
Yeah, and I definitely would believe Dr. Kaku, because I mean I like that again, he's not a sensationalizer, you know what I mean?
Right.
So he's
Yeah,
about not necessarily debunking, but he's about like just using the science to explain things, right?
As it
But
should be.
it's kind of like you were saying something about like it's not been explored, it's not been measured. It's kind of that area. So yes, I see where Dr. Kaku's coming from, because he's certainly got the knowledge to back up what he's saying, right? But like you said, what if that particular area is kind of like defies the known logic, right?
And it seems to, even to this day.
To this day, and so it's
Yeah.
it's making me think that, you know how, you know, the movie Twister, and they sent those machines up into the eye into the to the
Dorothy.
Let's send Dorothy up there. All right, here's the last part.
So the disappearance of the USS Cyclops remains a mystery, but one piece of the Bermuda Triangle mystery has just been solved.
Do tell more.
In 1925, the SS Cotopaxi set out from South Carolina, heading to Cuba with a cargo of coal, but never made it. Earlier this year, a wreck that was close to St. Augustine, Florida, was confirmed to be the Cotopaxi. It's been reported that the ship had broken hatch covers. Despite that, the ship sailed out in that condition, which meant that even in a small storm, water could have sloshed over, ran into the hold, and sunk the ship. This is a disappearance that was blamed on the triangle, but technically the ship sunk outside of its lines, and there is a reasonable explanation.
Well, that's one mystery solved.
Now, Jordan, all of these alternate theories, whether whirlpools or methane gas, the science does not support the idea that they are making ships disappear. But I will say, the Bermuda Triangle is a very enticing legend.
Agreed.
I concur.
100%. And there's a lot of things that, you know, even though they're not even mentioning in this particular episode, if something's still mysterious in this day and age, and things haven't been fully explained, I think there's something to be said about that. And, you know, maybe there's nothing to be explained. Maybe it's just totally natural. I'm open to that as well, but it remains an endearing kind of paranormal UFO area. And there's places like that around the world. This isn't the only place, right? There's other places that we can look at as well, but this is kind of one of the most well-known. And I think as far as like a penultimate episode to our official-ish 100th episode kind of makes sense. We could have gone any other way, but I think this one here is still amazing even to this day.
For sure. And the fact that, again, it's still unsolved. And, you know, I think this goes beyond apophenia, right? I mean, yes, there's a lot of like, I think it goes beyond coincidence is what I want to say.
I agree.
There's just way too much, too many things that happen in that one section of the ocean. And I don't know if we're going to be able to solve it. And by we, I mean, like, you know, humanity. And
yeah. Again, in our
again,
lifetime. Yeah.
Unless we send Dorothy over there. All right, folks, I hope you enjoyed this content. And if you do, please consider giving it a like and subscribing to our channel to help spread the word. And if you hadn't already done so, please subscribe. And on YouTube, hit that notification bell to help make sure that you don't miss out on future episodes. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.